on, everyone? DSP here, and welcome to the weekend preview for July 24th, 2011. Now, I'm actually making this pretty late on Sunday, so for some of you, by the time you see it, it'll probably already be July 25th. Too bad. Anyway, so what we're going to do, as always in the weekend preview, is we're going to review the things that I've done in the previous week, so you can get up to speed if you haven't been able to catch up on my videos, and we're going to talk about my plans for the future. So starting off with this past week, there was actually a fighting game tournament at Games, etc., which is a local gaming location. I guess they do everything: tabletop games, card games, video games, and they had a tournament last Sunday. I had footage of that tournament up over on DSP Street Fighter. Then on Monday I finished my Beyond Good and Evil HD playthrough, and that is up on DSPGaming. Tuesday, big, huge day for game releases. So many came out. We had, first of all, the next DLC for Fallout New Vegas, Old World Blues, and I played that literally as soon as it showed up on my Xbox dashboard, so I was probably one of the first people to get a complete playthrough of that up, and it showed in the views. People seem to really enjoy that DLC, so that's up, and also, on that same day, there were two popular retail releases. First was Call of Juarez the Cartel, and the second was Captain America. So I played through the single-player campaign of Call of Juarez the Cartel, and that playthrough is up, as well as my playthrough of Captain America. Let me just say this. Captain America, first of all, the game's not as bad as I think people thought it was going to be. It's still not very good, but that playthrough, I had a lot of fun with that playthrough. I think it's probably, in my opinion, from when I was playing it, I think I enjoyed it a lot simply because I was able to crack so many silly jokes about how ridiculous Captain America looks, and just the gameplay and everything that's going on in that game. If you haven't watched it or even given it a look because you thought, oh, this is a crappy game, I'm going to skip it, I highly recommend you check out the Captain America playthrough. I think you're going to laugh, okay? Then, on Saturday, John Rambo came over for the first time. Well, no, he was here last week as well. And we did an episode of Smart Guys that we were very pumped to do, okay? And it's because this past week in wrestling was amazing. There's the Money in the Bank pay-per-view for WWE, leading into Raw and SmackDown. All three were three great shows. Lots of very interesting stuff going on in wrestling right now. If you want to hear all about it and hear our thoughts about it, head over to John Rambo's channel, which is John Rambo Presents. And you can see the latest edition of Smart Guys there, where we go on all about that. Then John and I decided to gear up and play some games, and we did double-decker, basically. First, we played through all of Warhammer 40k Kill Team, which is a downloadable title on Xbox Live Arcade, and then we did some of the co-op campaign of f.e.a.r. 3. We finally had a chance. We said, you know what, there are other games on Xbox Live Arcade that are out right now that are interesting to us, but we wanted to sit down and play a retail game that, you know, we know it's a full experience. We were like, let's just play it, and we said, you know what, to hell with it. So what if it's late? So what if f.e.a.r. 3 came out over a month ago? Let's do it. So we played half of it, and we had a blast. It's actually really fun to play as f.e.a.r., and the co-op mechanics of the game are actually really good. I think they were really well done. So the first half of that is now up on DSPGaming as well. So it was a very busy week, jam-packed with content. I do want to remind everyone that there is still a contest going on. It will end on August 1st, so this is their last week, basically, chance to enter this contest. I'm giving away a copy of f.e.a.r. 2 for the Xbox 360, as well as a copy of Infamous 2 for PlayStation 3 that has the codes that came with the Hero Edition of the game. All you need to do to enter that contest is to go on my website, thekingofhate.com, register if you haven't already, and then there's a thread right on there. It says, you know, Phil's contest for f.e.a.r. 2 and Infamous 2. And you click on there, and all you need to do in that thread, post up once, post up what was your favorite playthrough of all time of mine. We have over 1,500 entries so far. Being that's the last week, that might see a little bit more of a rush. We're probably going to get around 2,000 people entering this contest, which is pretty neat. And then what I'm going to do is, in August, I will do a random generation of a number for between, you know, whatever 1 to whatever number people have posted in that thread, and we're going to have a winner. Just so everyone knows, I mentioned this before, but people keep asking me, yes, we have fraud prevention things in place so that people can't post multiple times, can't post under different names or IPs, things like that. We have precautions in place to make sure no one is violating the rules of the contest. So if you're interested, go check that out. I'll probably put the link in the description of this video. So this coming week, what's coming up? Well, first of all, the one thing I do want to say, unfortunately, I didn't get to do the Mortal Kombat 9 DLC for the new character, Rain. There was just so much going on this week, and I didn't have enough time to sit down and dedicate it to really learn, like, to learn the character. I probably have to sit down for an hour or two messing around, trying to figure out juggles and things like that for him, and big combos, and then going into the ladder mode. I just didn't have the time to do it this week. So I do want to play as Rain eventually, but it's probably not going to be anytime too soon, especially because this week is jam-packed with new content to the point where I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish everything this week that's coming out that's new, so it may get pushed. But if you haven't heard yet, there was an announcement of another DLC. The final character to be added to MK9 is going to be Freddy Krueger, which I think a lot of people have mixed feelings about. I personally think it's pretty cool, but then again, I'm not exactly treating Mortal Kombat like a tournament-worthy game that I'm playing all the time. You know what I mean? Maybe I'd be a little angry if I was a giant fan of the Mortal Kombat series. Seems like a lot of people are up in arms about Freddy Krueger being added, saying why couldn't they add another classic Mortal Kombat character and not Freddy Krueger? So I can see both sides of the argument. But anyway, that's coming out on August. I'm trying to see from here. I believe it's August 9th. And so what I might do that day, since there's no other new releases that day, I might do a double whammy DLC day where I do Rain and Freddy Krueger over on my channel DSP Street Fighter. I did that last time with Scarlet and Kenshi because I didn't have time to play with Scarlet when she was new, and it's kind of the same thing right now. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So, alright, what am I doing this week? Now let's get to the meat of it. Supposedly, and I'm not 100%, it's, everyone's been saying this, but I'm not sure 100% this is going to happen. The Resistance 3 beta is supposed to go live tomorrow, okay? And I have the code because I bought SOCOM 4, so I have the code for it. If it goes live sometime tomorrow, I plan on playing that tomorrow. If not, I may find something as a filler to fill the time. Maybe I'll do a Hateful Truth for Transformers Dark of the Moon. Maybe I'll do something else. I'm not sure yet. But at this point, if the Resistance 3 beta comes out, I want to do it tomorrow. So that'll be Monday. Tuesday, another giant day of releases. We've got, first of all, probably the biggest release this week is Catherine. I am getting it, and I'm getting it for the PS3 because I've heard a couple different things that maybe it runs slightly better on PS3. It doesn't really matter to me what console I play it on, to be honest, but it was meant to be a PlayStation game. I think that line of games from that company usually are meant to be PlayStation games. So I tried to get the collector's edition because I found out pretty hilariously that it comes with really silly stuff like a pair of women's underwear, which is funny. But I tried to do it last week, and my local GameStop said that they couldn't do it, that they didn't have any left to reserve, but that they would try to at least see if they can get an extra one, because I buy so many games there, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But anyway, I'll be playing that on Tuesday, and depending on how long it takes for me to beat it, we'll see what happens next. I heard it's a pretty hard game, that some of the puzzles are kind of ridiculously hard near the end. Now what I will say is this, I think I'm going to play the game on easy. And I rarely do that, but this game, everyone's saying normal is actually really fucking hard, because if you make a mistake, you have to start over. You can't undo your mistake like you can in easy mode. So I think, for the sake of it being an enjoyable playthrough for everyone, and not me failing for 2 hours straight on one puzzle, I think I'm probably going to play the game on easy difficulty. But a lot of people saw my demo footage of that game, loved it, and so I'm really looking forward to it and hoping it ends up being a really good playthrough for everyone. Then there is another game called From Dust. This is an Xbox Live Arcade game, I believe, and I've been reading a little bit about it in gaming magazines and things, and I said, you know what, I think I'll give that game a shake this week. And then there's a DLC this week. It is Dragon Age 2's first DLC since launch, which had that launch DLC of that Prince character. It's called Legacy, and it's supposed to add a whole new area to the game that you can go and explore. So what I'll probably do is load one of my old saves from the game, because obviously I can't load one of where I've already beaten the game, and see, try that out. I haven't played Dragon Age 2 in quite a long time, so we'll see how that goes. It could be hilarious, so I don't fucking remember how to play the game. I think that's it for this week. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there's anything else new. I will try to do an Ask the King this week. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to squeeze it in, and that will be on Thursday. Up here on DSPGaming. So if you want to ask me questions about that, head over to thekingofhate.com, go to the Ask the King section of the forums. There is a thread up there for this episode, and you'll be able to ask me questions that I may choose to answer in my video. Also remember that day of, when I'm actually reading through the questions on my forums, I also take Twitter questions. So I'll be posting up on my Twitter account, which is @TheyCallMeDSP, sometime on Thursday to try to get questions for that video as well. And then on Saturday, John Rambo should be coming over again, so we'll have another episode of Smart Guys. We will have more co-op gameplay. We'll probably finish off f.e.a.r. 3, and then we'll see if we have some time to do anything else. Sunday, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Basically, I'm not going to Evolution this year, as everyone knows. Evolution is the National Fighting Game Tournament, and I'm not going primarily because I haven't had time, or let me not say it that way. It's not that I haven't had time, I haven't dedicated time to becoming good enough at any of the new fighters that have come out. I'm decent at them, but I'm not going to be placing at any tournaments. I can barely even beat anyone at my local tournaments at this point. Everyone's putting in more time than I am. And it's okay, because I'm busy with other stuff, other games, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm not upset about it or anything like that, but I figured I don't really feel like going to EVO and spending that money to go to Vegas unless I can actually maybe do something, and they're not doing Super Turbo this year. If it is, it's just going to be a side tournament. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to stay home. But there may be a gathering at that Games Etc. store that I mentioned where people will be playing games all day and watching the EVO stream. And I might attend that, and if I do, I'll probably record some of the footage of some of the games that are going on there. Although I don't know how high level or anything it's going to be. It should still be pretty fun. So that might or might not happen on Sunday. If not, I might try to find something else to do. But the last thing I want to talk about before I end this week in preview video, I want to talk about the first 2 weeks of August, because right now there are, besides those 2 Mortal Kombat DLCs that I mentioned, there are 0 retail releases coming out that are worth playing at that time, or that anything that I would be interested in. So I had lots of ideas of what I could do to fill the time. First was a fan appreciation week. I said, I could do a fan appreciation week, but at the same time, there's other stuff that I kind of wanted to maybe try out or do, and I haven't had a chance to do, and there's stuff that people have been asking for. So for some examples, these are the ideas that I have in my head. First of all, I just bought a new Sega CD, not new, but a replacement one, because my old Sega CD was conking out, and I now have a whole bunch of video games for that system that I'm thinking of doing like a week of Sega CD games, not necessarily beating them, but playing them and having fun with them, because I've done a lot of them in my April Fool's videos. A lot of people thought those were some of the most hilarious videos I've ever done. And this one studio, Digital Pictures, made so many of these full motion video games for Sega CD, and they're fucking awful, but they're hilarious to play. So I think it would be cool to maybe do like a Digital Pictures week or a Sega CD week during one of those weeks of August. Another idea I have, Mega Week, where I play Mega Man's 1 through 6 on the original NES. We're not talking HD versions or anything like that. I have the original NES, I have mine, and I now own Mega Man's 1 through 6 except for number 5. Now I actually found it on a website. First, pretty expensive, it was like 40 bucks, and it's a legit website. And I bought it hoping that I would get it for maybe the first week of August, and then I got contacted by the website and they said, unfortunately it's going to take 4 to 7 days for us to even have this game here to ship it to you, and then we have to ship it to you, so you might not have it for a couple of weeks. So now I'm kind of worried that maybe I won't have it in time to do Mega Week if I do it as that first week of August. But maybe I'll do it as the second week of August. Not sure yet, but I think that would be a really neat idea. Everyone seemed to really enjoy my Mega Man 10 playthrough. They thought it was hilarious, and it spawned one of the most highly or greatly received songs from the Mass Defect, which was the Proto Man remix song from Mega Man. So maybe I'll do that. Another idea that I'm seriously considering is a fan of mine. His name is Hazard, and I would like to thank him personally. He donated to me over Steam a copy of Oblivion Game of the Year Edition. So I have that. I just need to download it on my PC and I can play Oblivion. And people are saying, gee, Phil, maybe you should, so that way it can get you into the mode for Skyrim. A lot of people don't know this. I've mentioned it several times, but I did play Oblivion on the Xbox 360 when it was new. The problem was at that time my system red ringed, and I didn't have an Xbox for about a month. By the time I got a replacement Xbox, I didn't want to play Oblivion anymore because there were other new games out. It was kind of an old, it was a month old, and there were other new stuff coming out. So I never beat it. And so it might be cool. I understand the game is super long, especially if it's the Game of the Year edition with the DLCs. There's a lot of content. So by no means am I saying am I going to be playing every single thing in the game, but maybe just a story run through and do some side missions here and there. Maybe play the game like I played something like a Fallout or Fallout New Vegas. And experience it that way. The thing is, I have 2 whole weeks, so it's not like I have to rush through it. I could take my time and play for 5 whole days. I could just play that game for like 6 hours a day and just take a 30-hour playthrough of me playing Oblivion. Could be pretty cool. So that's another idea I have. So all these things I'm bumping around my mind. Another idea I have is this game Bastion just came out on Xbox Live Arcade. Seems like a pretty interesting action RPG. And people are giving it really good reviews, so that's another thing I'm considering. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm kind of bouncing around in my head because now I realize I have downtime, but I have too many ideas to even do in that downtime. So I actually have to now decide what I do and don't want to do during that time. Now the other good news is that the last week of September, there's pretty much no new releases, so I may have one more dead week before the official fourth quarter push, and then every week I have 700 games to play. So I may have another week to do fan appreciation or to do something that I don't get a chance to do in August. But yeah, so that's my ideas for the first 2 weeks of August. Just throwing them out there, wondering what people think about them. And people already made a thread about it on my forums on thekingofhate.com, discussing what their options they liked. A lot of people like Oblivion, a lot of people are saying Mega Man Week, a lot of people are saying Sega CD. I'm getting all these different opinions. So it's always good to get feedback from the community on what you think you might like to see. But right now, I really kind of am pushing for Mega Week. If I can get Mega Man 5, I really think I want to do Mega Man Week. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, alright, that's it for the weekend preview. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a very long video as usual, but I had a lot to talk about. I will see you guys for the Resistance 3 beta, if it comes out. If not, I'll see you in another playthrough. Thanks.